Welcome to the instructional portion of the video. You can get tabs and backing tracks if you go to my website, www.erichaugenguitar.com. Let me briefly talk about the tools I'm using to make the sounds. This is, what is this? An early 60s Goya S14 acoustic guitar. Kind of beat up and cracked, but I like the way it sounds. I'm using an SM57 going into a cloud lifter and a little cheap tube preamp going into my field recorder. Thank you to my friends at Meze Audio for these very nice headphones. They sound really good and made it a real pleasure to track. Alright, let's take a quick look at the main progression that Dave is soloing over. We're going to pretend that there's no capo because that's easier to think of things that way. It's E minor, C, and A with no third. I just do O2-2 and back to C. And that's just a classic Gillian Welch thing, that it's E minor, but having that A not be an A minor, Dave is going to imply A major with some of the licks he plays. But yeah, that's their thing. It's just they're always floating between a very rigid key. They'll kind of let things be a little bit loose. Now, solo, the solo picks up after that first chorus on a D chord. And so Dave starts with just 0 and 0 on the D and the G, and then 0 and 2, and then he starts with a little, I think of it as a blues run. Let's look at that already. Hold on, let me adjust this capo. I'm getting a buzz. So one thing I observed Dave do is he does actually just use a lot of pentatonic minor down low. I'll hear him do those licks, which is pleasantly familiar for me. That lick is, we got 2 sliding to 4 on the G string, and just 0 and 0 on the high E and B, and then 3 slides to 5 on that B, and then a lonely G string. So that lick, there it is. You can hit that spare D if you want to. You're allowed to do that. Already a really cool lick. And then I hit that low E down below to start the solo, but he doesn't actually hit it. It's just fun to do. Already that's a Dave Rawlings thing. That 12th fret on the B to 0 on that high E. In the key, that is the 9th of the key. I'll still pretend I'm in E. That would be an F sharp, which is, the second note of the scale. Gives that dissonant, floaty kind of quality that he likes to do. And that's kind of back to a blues lick. So 12, 0, 12, 0 on that high E, 3, 0, 3. So that's kind of a blues thing. So 12, 0, 12, 3, 0, 3. What is that lick? Yeah. So that's 0, and then 2 on the G, and then, and so I think I land that 2 with the ring finger so I can go to get those drone strings. So that's 2. 0, 0, 2, 4, 2 on the D string. So pretty. And then let's see, oh yeah, and then you can kind of fill a bar out with just some, or it doesn't matter too much. It's hard to tell exactly what he's doing there because the way him and Gillian play together, a lot of times she's actually doing more intricate things than you would think she is, and so sometimes the notes will cascade against each other. So something like that to fill the gap. And then, so that was, that was across the E minor and the C chord. When Gilly switches to an A, he does this cool little, that's his little A run, and that has a C sharp in it, in reference to the capo. So that is 2, O, change to the A string, 2, 4, O, 2, 5. So yeah, this, there it all, that's what it is. Pretty cool. So against that A chord, he's turning it into an A7, and I see him do that in a variety of songs. It's kind of one of his things, is on those A chords that Gilly doesn't really play a third or a minor third, he'll kind of make it into an A7. It seems to be what he likes to do. And so if we visualize this A bar chord here, that's what he's visualizing for that next part of it. And so yeah, he's seeing that. He's like, well, there it is again. And again, he'll hit a spare 0, so he's hitting, I'm going to call that 5 to 7, because it's from the capo with that open G string. And then with that 0 on the B, 4 to 6. Which is like, against that A is kind of weird. But that's all kind of seeing that chord is what it is. He's just adding to be special. And then this is neat. At the end of that bar, he switches to official A pentatonic. That's kind of one of the coolest licks in it. So yeah, if we think about it, that's an A minor shape. There's A minor down, over there. This is the idea of that, the entire next octave higher. There is a blues scale there you can find. So that's what he's thinking of, which is kind of neat, because the first half he played in A major. And then he's like, blues. So that is, I'm going to call, now I'm not going to count from the capo when I'm this high up. 14, 13, 12. And then I'm going to get that little 16 on the B. It's hard to do on this guitar. 16, 15, 13. And then when he gets that little end of it, 13, 14, 13 with that 0, and then 10, 13, 10. That's a cool lick. And then back it up, which is really just the same as going. And honestly, you could probably find clips of him playing it where he's doing it up here. I just do it back here. So that whole A run, that's so cool. And then he's going to visit his beloved ninth, that 12-12 on the B. So I guess now, yeah, that is 12-12. And then this is kind of the hardest part of it, the timing of this next kind of space. Yes, we're coming back around to an E minor. That you kind of have to count 1, 2, 3 to get that little chime. And that's just, we could call that 10 or we could call that 5, depending on how you want to think of it. But there I am. I'm going to call it 10 because the previous lick was up high, which is against the E minor chord. He's going, again, one of his strange kind of chimey affectations. And then you let that sit for a bar, and then you have the next bar, and this one just starts on the upbeat of 1. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1. That's his float right there, yeah. 1, 2, 3, beep, beep, boom, boom, 1. And that's one of the coolest licks in it too. So and that's against the C chord. So, where am I? That's 12 on the G. And so now, Gilly's at a C right here. He's chromatically backing up to land on the major 7 of the C. That's his Chet Baker influence there. And he's going to let the D string in. So that lick is, so you do a triple pull off and a slide back. 12, 11, 10, slide back to 9, 0. 3 of those. By itself it sounds kind of weird, but if you kind of hear it with the C, let me see if I can do it. Not really, but that's Dave Rawlings. I mean, he has this ear for lines and melodies that it's very alien and it's very unique to him. It's kind of one of the reasons he's so inimitable. Yeah, that's a word. And then it's going to kind of finish up with I'm going to call that 4 now, but it's 9 also, but I'm thinking 4 for some reason. We're at another A chord. And that's just chromatically going up. 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6. Back to 4. Yeah, so you got. And then Gilly's back at a C. He's at the 2 now. That's a Dave thing too. So at that C chord, that final C, he's on the 2 of the G with the 0 underneath. A little 0, 0 on the B and the E. And then one of his favorite things, the flatted 5th of the key. So that's 3 on the G string and 0 of the B. And then a little 2-0 on, what is that? The D string. And then E minor, then you're back at another verse. Yeah, there you have it. Well, I hope that was interesting and helpful for you. Good luck with that, and thanks for watching.